the show. I have got the link in this. Sit back, relax your mind. Just let my love flow through you. 'Cause all this time, my love's with you. And you never have to worry. 'Cause I want to spend my life with you. You change my world, my dreams come true. So let it be, let it get exploded. It's driving me crazy, now I'm gonna say yes. So let it be, where you hold me. Don't you know? So let it slide, and it keeps calling me out. Taking me places that I've never seen. I'm not afraid to learn from it. Oh no, I never contemplated. That's why it feels right. A heaven sent love, a match made for two. Oh, don't take your love for granted. 'Cause love will wait for you. Oh, baby, hold on to what your heart is telling you. Late at night when you're not by my side, thinking about you, thinking about you. Oh, take a chance, take my life and romance, let my love go through you. It's driving me crazy now, I'm gonna celebrate. Don't you hear me? Can't you feel me? Tell me, girl. Oh, how I love you. Holding you tight through the night. It's alright. Holding you tight through the night. It's alright. I love you. There's something about
All right, all right, all right. Welcome, everybody. She is Dame Frankie, and I am the Black Knight. Welcome to the Quiet Drive, where we promote positive relations between black men and black women and black love. How's everybody doing? Shout out to my strong peoples in the chat, Nikki, Rhonda Harris, World Lady of Ladies Night and the E Nation. Shout out to the Queen of the E Nation, the First Lady. What's up, Francis Jones? How are you? All right, y'all. Tonight we will be discussing the myth of the bad boy and the church girl. And then we'll talk about understanding romance and how it's underutilized in relationships. But before we get started, I'd like to say hello to my lovely host, the Dame. What's going on, Dame?
Hey, how's everybody doing? I'm doing fine.
Doing fine?
Mm-hmm.
You ready to get in the quiet drive mode?
Yes.
We should have a good show tonight. Feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay.
All right, all right. Listen, we also have Mr. Coon in here, Mr. Supreme King Coon. I don't mind you being in here, Coon, as long as you don't overstep your boundaries. Understand you do not have a wrench. And the women in here, well, the people in here don't take kindly to, certain kind of language and behavior. So if I was you, I'd be on my P's and Q's, especially with no wrench. What's going on, Black Seed? All right, let's get into it. Miss Frankie, the myth of the bad boy and the church girl. Okay? Now, when I was growing up, right? Actually, this is still talked about because I've heard this from Sissy Bims and Red Pill guys, that women like bad boys. Now, I've heard this also when I was growing up, right? That the woman wanted the bad boy, okay? Versus the good guy. Now, the good guy was always a nerd. I'm not sure why that is. For some reason, every good guy in the whole world had to be some Coke bottle rim wearing, 500 pencil carrying, 6 book bag dragging, 1 big boot, and 1 sneaker geek. That was the good guy. The good guy couldn't be dapper. He couldn't be a jet set. He couldn't have that suave. He couldn't be a debonair. He couldn't be cool. You know, he couldn't wear the dark shades with the sharp suit and the Stacey Adams and the Godfather brim and drove the shiny Cadillac. He couldn't be that guy. He had to be some dork that hiccup a lot every time he drank a glass of milk. You understand what I'm saying? Some old dorky, goofy geek. So when you put that up against the bad boy, right? Looks like the bad boy is hands down all the time, right? Okay, when you put that kind of image of a good guy up against a bad boy. Now, even today, I hear some guys talking about, well, black women only want the bad guys. They want the Pookies and Ray Rays. Now, the bad guy has a name now. He has 2 of them, Pookie and Ray Ray. That's the bad guy. Now, according to these sissies, right? They say this is what the black woman wants. She doesn't want the good guy who happens to be 3.5 feet tall and has a very big mouth and can't go outside by himself without being chased around by Child Protective Services. She doesn't want this type of guy, okay? That's the good guy. So, now you're a black woman.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard this myth, right?
Yes. Yes, I've heard this myth.
Yeah. It's not supposed to be a myth, right? They're saying that black women prefer bad guys over the good guys? Can you break that down for us from a black woman's perspective?
Okay, first of all, we don't go looking for the bad guy. As far as we concerned, they all the guy we look for is the good guy. Now sometimes we're proven wrong, but it ain't because we start off thinking of him as a bad guy or he seemed to be a bad guy.
No, 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 no. Wait a minute, because they're gonna come back and say, wait a minute. You know full well he's a bad guy. He's selling drugs. He's got the cool car. Okay? He's got the dapper clothes. He's got the bankroll in his pocket. And he's dangerous. He lives on the edge. They say that's what you women are attracted to.
No. Okay. Okay. No, 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 no. We're not looking to get involved with drug dealers. And we not after just the money. You know, we prefer that they have a job and the job not be selling drugs unless they a licensed pharmacist at a pharmacy. Yeah. Now, is there a woman that might be looking in that direction? She don't care about how he makes the money as long as he makes the money, and he's willing to spend it on her. Yes, there's a rare few.
Now, wait a minute now.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute. What you're saying is completely different from what I've been hearing. According to these guys, they're saying that the black women are drawn to this dangerous dude, this dastardly dude who seems to escape danger every day. Okay? And he has money. He has the bankroll. He's got the nice car. He's got the clothes. He's got the I don't give a damn demeanor. Okay? I can have any woman I want. Supposedly, they're saying that black women seem to be attracted to men that don't want them, especially dangerous men, right?
Mm.
And the good guy who's the geek, for some reason, I don't know why all good guys are geeks. I just can't figure it out now. But for some reason, the good guys are always some dorky looking, slinky carrying, eccentric little hermits. Those are all the good guys. I'm not sure why the good guy can't have a nice job. He can't be tall, dark, and cool looking and wearing the nice suits. Not sure why he's not a good guy, but just the dorks are the good guys. So when you put the dorks up against the bad guys, right?
Yeah.
Then that gives black women going for the bad guys a lot of validity and a lot of weight. You want to respond to that?
Okay. All right. My response to this is that okay, who is approaching the woman? Is it the darky nerdy good guy? Is it the bad boys? And wait a minute, who shows the image of the bad boy? Did the nerdy guy did or did the women did?
Well, what they're saying is that the women. So you got the bad guy that comes up to you, right? The Pookie, right? Mm-hmm. He comes up to you like this. He goes, "What's up, shorty?
Mm-hmm.
What's your name? Yeah, check this out, man. Been digging you, know what I'm saying? I got this ride over here, come hop in this ride and let's go do some things. If you don't want to do it, I got other women waiting for me. So what you want to do? Now you're supposed to be on some, oh my God, let me get in your ride and ride with you everywhere, even to the ends of the earth. Now here comes the geek, right? Now here comes the geek. Excuse me, miss. My name is Alvin. I kind of like you. Listen, can you come to the private before I go to the bathroom by myself? Now you see, you as a black woman, you're supposed to reject Alvin. You understand what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And go with Pookie, who wants some. Hey, shorty, I'm gonna need you to get in this ride. Know what I'm saying? If you ain't feeling that, then fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I got 12 other women waiting on me. You know what I mean? So how come you didn't go? Oh, now, but here come Alvin again. Excuse me. I like you. I would like to date you. Now, how come you didn't go? Oh, Alvin, I will date you from now until forever. How come you didn't do that?
Okay. First of all, I never met a nerd like that. And see, you got me coughing. And two, um, if that's the bad boy, they don't approach that way neither. And the rare few that do, I keep on stepping and I'll be like, no, thank you, not interested, and keep on moving. Because if he got plenty of other women, why am I wasting my time with him? He can go
Okay,
about
so
his way with the other
okay.
women.
Now hold on. I just don't understand. Are you saying that black women have standards? Because that's what it
Yes,
sounds like you're saying.
yes, we do.
Well, wait a minute then. If black women have standards, then they probably wouldn't choose the bad guy, right? They wouldn't choose the Pookie or the Ray Ray.
Right.
Say we had a third person in there, right?
Uh-huh.
Pookie, Ray Ray, and JoJo.
JoJo.
Yeah. Now
Okay.
JoJo worked at the corner. JoJo worked at the corner store.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? He makes $3.50 an hour, makes about $1.50 a week.
Uh-huh.
Don't sell drugs, but he's still a hood dude.
Uh-huh.
JoJo actually goes to school.
Uh-huh.
Can JoJo take the place of the nerdy good guy over the bad boy?
Yes, he could.
So you saying you rather take JoJo, who works at the corner store making $2.50 an hour, $1.50 a week, and goes to school, versus the bad guy who's dropped out of school, who sells drugs, who lives on the edge, and has the nice fancy car and the dapper clothes?
Right.
It seems like the bad boy has dibs on the sartorial expression of the neighborhood, right?
Right.
Now, what is it that now these guys claim that black women are only attracted to bad boys, right? Now, so far you're doing a good job dispelling that myth. But let's take it a little further.
Mm-hmm.
If the black woman was attracted to the Pookie Ray Ray, aka the bad guy, what would it be? Would it be his sartorial expression? Would it be his vernacular as far as his game? Okay. What would it be? Would it be his finance? Would it be his money? If you were attracted to a bad guy, what would you be attracted to first?
Oh, let's see. Probably his confidence.
Okay, so you like it when Day come up to you and be on some, hey, shorty, what's up? What's your name? Never mind, just go on and get in my ride, all right? If you don't want to get in my ride, it's cool. I got about 12 other women waiting. So you attracted to that? That's like super confidence right there.
Yeah, that's super confident, but that's unrealistic confidence. No guy admits to having other women when he's trying to get the one in front of him. He'll admit to it if she blows him off, but not,
Well,
when he's approaching her.
Well, what about Alvin?
Oh,
Excuse me, miss. I've been looking at you and I'm really infatuated with you. Is it okay if I call you by your first name? I really like you, so uh, do you like to be my girlfriend? Now, what's wrong with Alvin's confidence?
He seemed hesitant a lot. You know, to me, he seems hesitant. But
So,
but I ain't met no nerd like that neither.
so
Uh-huh.
Alvin's hesitation is what's costing him a decent black woman, and the gangster's confidence and ego is what's getting him the decent black woman.
Uh, yeah, kind of.
Hmm. That's a problem.
Mhm.
That is a problem.
Yes.
See, that gets you in trouble.
Mhm.
Now, Alvin grows up to be a nuclear physicist making all kinds of money,
Mhm.
while the Pookie or the Ray Ray or the so-called bad guy either gets dusted in the street from a shootout or gets put away for life. Especially if you have children invested in this so-called bad boy. Now you become a single mother. Whereas Alvin, who grew up to be the nuclear physicist or a world-renowned scientist, right, is a good man, never been in trouble,
Mhm.
right, has a super career, right,
Mhm.
and is a faithful guy.
Mhm.
How is it that how is it that a black woman makes that kind of devastating mistake? That's devastation.
Mhm.
Think about this. You would the gangster guy, he done swept you off his feet with his super ego. Y'all riding around dodging bullets and shit and ducking from the police. He finally gets hit. You done got knocked up. Now he's gone for 25, 30 years. Now you're by yourself with those kids. That's kind of like the Myra and Laura effect from Family Matters. Whereas Myra loved Urkel the way he was, okay, with the high waters and all, and the funky glasses. Whereas Laura was in love with Stefan, who was actually a made up dude. Wasn't even a real dude. You know what I'm saying? So now you done fell in love with this gangster, and now you're a single mother. That's a devastating that's a devastating mistake.
Okay. All right. Now I want to refresh our memory about the Laura and Okra thing. When he first became Stefan, yeah, he was smooth and all that, but he was selfish, egotistical, and Laura didn't like him like that. So she refused Stefan the first time, and she chose Urkel. Maybe not as her man, but she chose him over the smooth Stefan. It wasn't until the second installment where there was a better merge of the two that she kind of fell in love. But even still, she did not choose him, and she eventually chose Urkel in the end.
Okay. Hold on,
Hmm.
hold on. We got a comment from our esteemed queen, Christine. No, Christine, I wouldn't date a woman like that, but I will also be probably be making a mistake. You know, because we have to be honest with ourselves, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
We have all of these made up people in our minds, right? People that we want to be with. Okay. and we don't really take the time out to get to know people. As soon as they hit us with this image that we like, we tend to go with it. Now, Christine is right. If a girl came up to me talking like that, the nasal and all that stuff, I probably wouldn't be interested. But if I somehow got past that, right, and talked to her, got to know her, right, and to see what her personality was, I may be able to find, I may be able to detect that ugly duckling is soon going to grow into a beautiful swan. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if the black woman would sit down and talk to the Alvins, the nerdy geeks, right? Maybe they can find that handsome, successful man, right? That he's going to be through spending time with them and having conversations. What do you think?
Well, I think your version is an exaggeration version of everything. First of all, the Pookies and Ray Rays don't always come out as Pookies and Ray Rays. And nor do the nerd come out as super nerdy. They're usually a middle ground. And yes, you're right that people don't get to know each other before they get involved. But it's the not getting to know each other without before get involved. That's the problem. It's not that women are choosing Pookie and Ray Ray, the bad guy,
Dame
over.
Frankie, let me stop you right there. Let me start. Hold that thought. Hey, Mr. SKC, let me explain something to you, sir. This show is about positive relations between black men and black women. Do not come in here and try to disrupt that with this bullshit that you put in the chat. Now, I'm trying to be lenient and give you a shot to relax. It's not about you starting fights with people in my chat room. If you're not here to promote positive relations between black men and black women, there's the door. And I'm not going to say anything else about it. The next time it's going to be action. Go ahead, Dane.
Yeah. Oh yeah. As I say, um, um, the guys, Pookies, Ray Rays, the so-called nerdy guy, they don't present themselves in that exaggeration form. There's a middle ground, and it's the not getting to know the person before you get involved, and not doing the courting and all that stuff that causes the problem. Um, because bad guys don't present themselves as bad guys. Everybody has a habit of putting their best foot forward. What bad guy Pookie and Ray Ray shows their worst trait, that they sell drugs, that they do it. So they might do the car, but they might halfway tell the truth.
Dang, listen.
What?
This is not about you and I.
Okay.
It's not about whose version is exaggerated or whatever. It's about a scenario.
Okay.
That we're trying to present to the people. Don't make this about you and I.
Okay.
Stay on topic, please.
Okay. Scenario. Pookie and Ray Ray do not present themselves as Pookie and Ray Ray. The nerdy guy does not present himself as the nerdy guy. They and if a woman get just go just to the surface before she gets to know them, she'll probably either let one go or she choose wrongly. She'll choose wrongly. It happens when you move too fast, when you don't take the time to get to know the person. Because if you do, you eventually find out that they're Pookie or Ray Ray or the bad guy. or that or that they the nerdy guy. But you get to know the nerdy guy, you see beyond the superficial awkwardness and stuff like that, and you might find common ground or find something about them that you like. You know, people fall in love with
But you
nerds all
see,
the time.
but you see, that's just the point. These guys
Mhm.
are saying that women aren't looking for the nerds. Well, they keep calling nerds the good guys, which I don't
Mhm.
understand why all good guys have to be nerds. But for some reason they are. And I think it's when you meet people, I think you have to give people time to show you who they really are. I
Mhm.
think when we put these expectations on people, we hurt ourselves, we handicap ourselves,
Uh-huh.
you know. And Christine Williams is right. She doesn't like the nasal thing. I don't like the nasal thing either. But are we letting that keep us away from real happiness? What if it's something just that small
Mhm.
is standing between happiness, a life of happiness and fulfillment, and a terrible life? You know what I'm saying? A world of hurt. What if something that like that, such as a nasal twang, stands between a happy, full life and a life of pain and anguish and discontent and violence and all kinds of other stuff?
Okay. Well, I think more likely what happened is the women chose the middle ground, the JoJo, more often than they choose the one or the other.
But there's one thing you're not noticing about JoJo.
Mhm.
JoJo works and he goes to school, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
But JoJo doesn't have a girlfriend. See, I need to pay attention to that. Why doesn't JoJo have a girlfriend? He seems to be doing everything right. He's got a job. He goes to school. Seems to be ambitious, but for some reason doesn't have a girlfriend.
Okay.
See, that's another mistake that some women make. You don't pay. Why does this guy have a girlfriend, or why haven't we heard him with a girlfriend? Or see, that's significant. There's a reason why he don't have a girlfriend.
Okay.
See, if you get with him and you ignore that fact that yeah, he's been working for a year or so, or whatever, and you've never seen JoJo with a girl, nobody's never seen him with a girl. He doesn't have a girlfriend, but he's working and he's going to school. That's a huge red flag. So the middle ground that you're looking for may not be as solid as the ground you're already standing on, is what I'm saying. Maybe you're already standing on solid ground, but just don't like the way it feels at the moment.
Okay.
And I think
Well,
that we're becoming,
I
yeah,
guess
just,
then she'll choose none of them. Mm.
well, if you choose none of them, then you may miss your mark. I think that we have to be daring a little bit sometimes, okay? Just my opinion. I think that we have to take a shot,
Mhm.
you know? Okay,
Uh-huh.
if it don't work out, okay, you took a shot.
Mhm.
At least you know. Shout out to Art Nutshell in the building. Man, we are visited by the very super talented Art Nutshell. What's going on, Art?
Hi, Art.
Yeah, so if you take a shot, right?
Mhm.
Then what do you have to lose? You say, okay, you took a shot with Alvin. Okay, it didn't work out.
Uh-huh.
Okay, at least you know Alvin's not the one for you. Okay,
Yeah.
now
Mhm.
you don't mind taking a shot with the bad guy, you already see that he into some nefarious stuff right off the bat. So if you're willing to take a shot with him, why not take a shot with Alvin? At least he's not getting in trouble.
Well, what
Take
makes
a
you
shot.
think she hasn't taken a shot with Alvin? Alvin
Because
could be saying that she chose the bad guy because she didn't choose him. That they dated, they tried, and she realized he wasn't the one for her.
she didn't take a shot at Alvin because Alvin has too many things working against him. Okay, like our esteemed sister Christine Williams said, he sounds too nasal. Okay, so right there's an issue. Okay. Now, what are you saying? Do you think Alvin got too many issues that you can't get past, or you can look past all of that and give Alvin a shot and see what Alvin's all about? I'm doing a show from the road, so that's my reefer in the background. It'll stop shortly.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Frankie.
I think Alvin has been given a shot, and he has. They have dated. It didn't work out. I think it's possible that he'll find the one for him, but maybe the first choice didn't work out.
Well, okay. Well, from what's being said, right? It's being said that the black women prefer the bad guys. If they prefer the bad guys, then the nerdy good guys, again, I don't know why good guys are all nerds. Can't figure that one out. For some reason, good guys can't be sharp and dapper and, and educated and all that. They got to be some geeky Coke bottle rim glass wearing dude for some reason. But anyway, if the black women are preferring the bad guys, then that means guys like Alvin, they aren't getting the shot.
Okay. All right. Look. First of all, they could be saying that about any guy that the woman chooses that is not him. The guy might not necessarily be a bad guy. He's a bad guy because that guy is not him. So he's the bad guy because obviously I'm a good guy. And it might have nothing to do with the guy being in anything. He might not be involved in anything. He just, any illegal activity or bad things. He's just a bad guy because he didn't choose the nerd.
Okay, so let me say this now. Queen, First Lady brought up a very good point, right? Okay. What if the bad boy wants you to get up in the middle of the night and go check for the bump in the night? Okay? versus Alvin, even though Alvin is a geek, Alvin gets to sharpen up his pencils, man. You understand what I'm saying? Turn them pencils into weapons and whatnot. Alvin's got a mean-ass motherfucking pencil sharpener. He hear that bump in the night, man, he go put a couple of them damn pencils in a pencil sharpener and then get some damn tape and roll the motherfucker. He got a weapon and he going downstairs. He said, baby, I got you. Let me go handle this bump in the night. Okay, so now, how do you see Alvin and how do you see the gangster?
Okay. Well, obviously, if he's telling a woman he's a coward, and she should drop him immediately.
Wait a minute. Surely, hold on. Surely the gangster isn't a coward. I mean, he's facing danger every day, right? Remember, he lives on the edge.
Well, if he's sending the woman downstairs to check out the bumper tonight, he's a coward. Or he don't care anything about her. And he's about saving his skin, which is still a coward.
Now, Alvin might weigh 72 pounds. Probably is no bigger than a pair of pants, right? But at least Alvin got some guts. Alvin's gonna get those pencils and sharpen them up and put them in a big old thing, and he's gonna go down there and he's ready to get with it.
Oh, yeah. So
Alvin is a man. Now what?
Okay, then obviously he is not a nerd.
Well, yes, he is. He's got the big horn rim glasses.
That's a stereotype.
He's got the table. Wait a minute. He's got the horn rim glasses. He's got the tape over the bridge of his nose to keep his glasses from falling. He's got 247 pencils in one pocket, 337 pencils in another pocket. Okay? His pants are high water. Vest are high water. He's wearing hush puppies with white socks, white tube socks. And he's got suspenders on with a pullover shirt that has 12 colors in it. That is a geek, ma'am.
Okay, that's a geek, but it's not a... Okay, you're making me laugh too much. Okay. Well, obviously he loves her, and she should keep him. Because he loves her, and he's willing to die to keep her safe. Because if he's going downstairs with nothing but sharpened pencils, he's gonna die. If there's something more dangerous than a pencil out there. But now, see now why Alvin got the... See, I agree, he might get his ass whooped. Okay? But while he down there getting his ass whooped, you can at least call the police and back him up, right? Yeah, if she don't go down there herself to beat them off her man.
That wouldn't be a good idea.
Well. But, yeah. Yeah, she could at least call the police.
Now, let me ask you a question. Since these guys think they know what black women want, right? As a black woman, give me 5 things that you will not compromise. A man must have these 5 things. There's no exception. If he don't have one of these things, he's out of there. Not having one of these is a deal breaker. He has to have all 5.
That's a good question.
You can think about that over time, okay?
All right.
If you can't think them all at once.
Yeah.
Or is 5 things too many?
I don't know.
You know what? Let's ask the ladies in the chat, right? How many things a guy needs to have that you won't compromise on at all? Is it 2 things, 3 things, 4 things, or 5 things? We don't want to go more than 5. If you're going more than 5, and then it's going to be hard to even get a dude to be interested. Okay, so type in the chat. Give me a number of some of the things that a guy must have that you just won't compromise on. And if he just, and even if he's missing one of these things, it's a deal breaker. So let's see what the ladies come up with.
Okay. You want me to wait till the ladies get through before I mention a couple of mine?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, mention a couple of yours. Yeah. We'll see what the ladies say.
First of all, he must love me. He must be willing to protect me or die for me.
Okay, whoa, ho. Okay, so love you, protect and die for you.
And
that's 3 things or 2 things?
I think I guess they could be considered 2 things. protect,
Okay, we got the first lady chiming
and
in. Magic Woman says he needs to have three things. So her cutoff is three.
okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So far you up to two or three?
I believe I got three.
Three. So he must love you, protect you, and be willing to die for you.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, we got Royal Duchess Vonda Harris coming in with five.
Mm-hmm.
Vonda ain't playing no games. Just
Okay.
five.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, you up to three, right? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And provide for me and ours.
Okay, so he has to love you, protect you, be willing to die for you, and provide for you and your children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's four.
That's four.
One more.
And he must be faithful to me.
Okay, faithful. Okay, now love you,
Mm-hmm.
protect you, willing to die for you, provide for you and the children, and be faithful. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I noticed you didn't say honest. See, whenever we ask women, y'all keep leaving out honesty, except for Neek. Neek brought up honesty. And I believe Vonda did too. I believe Vonda and Neek, they both brought up honesty. But a lot of other women, so y'all keep leaving out honesty. Do y'all, some of y'all, apparently some of y'all don't value honesty that high on the list. Why is that?
I have no idea.
See, because a man can love two women. A man can love you, and right, and
Mm-hmm.
in some areas be just honest. He can love you and another woman, and
Yeah, that's
deny
why I
love
say
another woman.
faithful to me. Yeah, you forgot the
Well,
to me.
yeah, but that that still doesn't uh, say he's honest.
He can honestly say I'm going to be with this other woman and you two at the same time. Faithful to me means to me.
Okay, all right.
And
So let's go over your. All right, so let's go over your list. Let's start with love you. Okay,
uh-huh.
that's a no-brainer. We're not even going to talk about that. Let's
Okay.
get with the next one. Protect.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
Conan, a man can't love two women. As a matter of fact, a man can love three women. Matter of fact, a man can love more women than that. Yeah.
That's why there's such things as harems.
Okay. So let's go with the second one. Okay. Let's start with
Uh-huh.
protect. Now, he
Uh-huh.
loves you. He provides for you. He's willing to die for you. Now that
Mhm.
don't make any sense because if he's not going to protect you, then he's not willing to die for you.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of
Yeah, I think we
saying
got
them
to
both
put.
together.
Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah. I think we got to put protect and willing to die for you. That's got to be just one by itself. So we need
Mhm.
another one.
Okay. Oh, okay. Um. Well, since you gave it away, we might as well. No. Well, I guess that would be where honesty would come in. But I feel like I'm cheating because you brought it up.
What is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
What? I got to think about it for a second. Okay. Um. I'm just gonna have to steal the cheat. It's gonna have to be honesty.
Okay,
Ugh.
so
Mhm.
all right, so we down to okay, so we're gonna go past the love part because that's self-explanatory.
Uh huh.
We might okay, protection. Um, um, no protection. Is that a deal breaker? we'll just humor everybody? Yes or no?
Are you talking to me or somebody in the chat?
Yes, I'm talking to you. You want?
Oh, protection. Well, yeah, that's a deal breaker. If he's not willing to protect what he loves, does he even really love me? It puts into doubt whether you love me if you're not willing to protect and and or maybe die for me. You know. So, do you even really love me?
Okay, so let's do it this way.
Mhm.
He's got the love going on. He's got the protection thing going on,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Uh-huh.
But he's not a provider. But he's got the honesty thing going on. So he's got the
Ooh.
honesty. He's got the protection. He's got the love. But the provisions, the resources, that's in serious doubt. He's struggling between jobs. He doesn't have stable money. You know, he's not a very good provider. But he loves you. He protects you. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. He cares. Okay, he protects you, and he's honest.
Mm.
Just that little thing called providing
Uh-huh.
provisions,
Mhm.
resources. He ain't that dude. Is that a deal breaker?
Mm. It's stressful, but no, I don't think it's a deal breaker.
Okay, well then, okay, if that's not a deal breaker, then that can't be on your list.
Oh, okay. So take the provision out, or
Wait a minute.
let him go because he can't provide. Ah,
Wow, wow. Okay, so this is interesting. So,
it's. Oh my goodness.
actually, I think that's very understanding because if he now if he wasn't working,
It depends on what's more important to you. If the love, the protection, and the willingness to provide whatever you can, even if it's not a lot. You know, a lot of resource wise. You know that 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 might not be a deal breaker. You know.
okay, we'll come back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're about to go to break.
Mm.
Everybody, she is the Dame. I am the Black Knight. We'll be back shortly. Enjoy the selection.
Brown skin, you know I love your brown skin. I can't tell where yours begins. I can't tell where mine is. Brown skin, up against my brown skin. Need some every now and then. Oh. Where are your people from? Maybe Mississippi or Ghana. Apparently your skin has been kissed by the sun. You make me wanna Hershey's your licorice. Every time I see your lips, it makes me think of honey coated chocolate. Your kisses are worth more than gold to me. I'll be your almond joy, you'll be my sugar daddy. Brown skin, you know I love your brown skin. I can't tell where yours begins. I can't tell where mine is. Brown skin, up against my brown skin. Need some every now and then. Ooh. Every time you come around, something magnetic moves me and I can't get out. Disoriented, I can't tell my up front now. All I know is that I wanna lay you down. Every time I lay you down, I can't tell where yours be. I can't tell what mine is. Brown skin, it's my brown skin. So bring me down with it. She's so wild and so round, baby. How can I be down? Follow my heart and lead. You make me feel like a queen. Tell me what's that thing you do that makes me wanna get next to you, yeah. Brown skin, you know I love your brown skin. I can't tell where yours begin. I can't tell where mine. Brown skin, it's my brown skin. Need some every now and then. It's every now and then.
All right. We are back to the Quiet Drive. Again, shout out to my strong peoples in the chat. Ladies, Christine Williams, First Lady. We do have a guest in here, Mr. Supreme King Coon. Do not allow him to lure you into a fight. He is an antagonist, okay? As long as he doesn't get completely out of line, we won't mind him being in here as a guest. Mr. Coon, I expect you to be on your best behavior in here, sir. Don't mind you asking questions, but don't antagonize the ladies in here, please. Thank you. Dane!
Yes. I guess I don't have 5 deal breakers. I guess I just have 4.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? And you know what? That shows that you're a reasonable woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That you don't have these hard core stances that you won't at least try to compromise on. You know, that you won't at least try to work with. And that goes against what they've been saying about black women, right? They're saying that black women are mean and vicious and have attitudes and are uncompromising and can't be dealt with or handled or can't be lived with. You're the meanest person that has ever been created. That kind of flies in the face of all that, doesn't it?
Yes.
Maybe black women are what they say they are. Maybe they just don't understand black women. Maybe they understand black men, since that seems to be who they are interested in these days. Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's move on. Getting close to the end of this topic. Let's go to the other part of this topic now. The church girl.
Mm-hmm.
The church girl, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you come from the 60s like I do, the church girl was the good girl. Okay? She was the one that was well-mannered. She was the one that waited to get married before she had sex. She was the one that was pure and wholesome, and you know, she was she baked cakes and she sewed and made her own clothes, and you know, she was the model of the neighborhood. She was the sweetness, the dainty damsel in distress type. The good girl. She wasn't promiscuous. Dane?
Yes. Yes, that was, and to a certain extent, still the church girls, the true church girls, lifestyle. With a little difference is that she's heavily involved into the church. You see
Right, we
her.
don't want to get into a long thing. Listen,
Uh,
now, some of these guys will tell you from experience that the church girls they met were the easiest girls they've ever been with. Gave it up on
mhm.
the first night. Matter of fact, some said that they were sex starved, like one nickel short of being a nymphomaniac.
One
Okay,
nickel.
I apologize for the background noise, people. I am doing the show on the road from my big rig, and so um, there's a little background noise. So just bear with us. I try to keep your background noise down. Remember, you have a super sensitive microphone, so that moving around we can hear it. Okay, so some would say that she was the easiest one that they've ever been with. That she was a freak, a super freak, and was willing to do all kinds of perverted sexual things. Your response to that?
Yeah, y'all ran into the rebellious church girl. Usually the ones that have strong family ties to the church. They rebel against whatever everything they were taught. So the ultimate rebellion is to give up the vajayjay, to give up the vajayjay.
Now, do you think the church has something to do with them being promiscuous like that, being wild and promiscuous like that? Why giving off this wholesome image in public, right? This upstanding daddy's little girl type image. She wouldn't dare engage in any kind of sex or any kind of raunchiness or ratchetness. She was the model girl of the neighborhood. All of the guys, when a guy wanted a good woman, all fingers pointed at her. That's the girl you want, the girl that goes to church. But according to some brothers that I've come across who had been with church girls, they make a statement that she is one of the most uh, sexually perverted women they've ever come encounter with. Now, why do you think that is? You think the church has something to do with that?
No, it has to do with the people in the church, the pressure to be perfect. That there's a weird idea that you have to be perfect when you're in the church, and that's a lot of pressure. And sometimes it's kind of forcibly put up on you, so you rebel against it. Some of it through do it through sex, some of it through by refusing to be part of the church altogether. Y'all happen to run into the ones that chose to rebel by having sex, but still didn't want people talking about them or thinking that badly about them. So they present this false image of being pure and perfect.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Let me ask you another question. Do you
Uh-huh.
think that this has something to do with the upbringing of these girls? You think that the father is too strict and too overbearing, or the mother and father are both too strict and overbearing, and keeping the girl away from what's really going on in the outside world to the point where she becomes fascinated with the bad boys and the conversations of sex and stuff like that, to the point where as soon as she gets a guy or a guy that's interested in her, she's ready to give it all up. Do you think that has something to do with the way the parents is raising the girl?
Yeah, now that I think about it, it might be more, you might be right about it might be the church, but it's the people in the church too. They expect you to have behave a certain way, act a certain way, be a certain way too. And you're constantly got eyes on you to make sure you fit in that mode that they got for you. So you have these secret rebellions where they will have sex because it's a way of
Does the church?
rebellion. It's against. It's not to be that image that people have of them. But if
Mm-hmm.
they still fronting it, that means they ain't reached that level where they still care about what their church family sees them and act like. So that's why they'll still act up front. But
Shout out to Grown Man 773. What's up, peoples? Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Now,
but
let me ask you about the church. Let me ask you
okay,
about the church thing.
uh-huh.
Do you think that if these girls didn't go to church, that they would probably live a life of a streetwalker,
No,
or would they be more of a career girl? What would you think?
if they weren't part of church, and I don't think they'd be a streetwalker. Maybe slight career girl. Um, yeah. So all that energy that they would pour into, a career in the church or the church stuff, they would be pouring into, job or career or schooling and stuff like that. So, depending on the woman, it should be pretty much almost the same. It's just that her energies won't be focused so much on the church; it'll be on whatever is important to her. If it's a career, it's gonna be on the career. If it's a job, it'll be on the job. If it's raising family, it'll be that. You know.
Hold on one
Or
second. Shout out to
mhm.
Grown Man 773. What's up, peoples? First lady, is that your peoples right there? Grown Man 773. Yeah. Okay, Frankie. You know what? Black Sea Supreme had a very interesting take. He
Uh
said the
huh.
shelter girls always turn out to be the most promiscuous. So, hey,
Mm.
a lot of guys
Yeah,
would
I've
agree
seen
with
that.
that.
I've seen it. I've seen that. Yeah, the more sheltered they are, the worse the rebellion is when they break free or they get away from what they grew up with. Yeah, I've seen that. But yeah, you're right about
Then
that.
why wouldn't the church? Well, then why wouldn't the church count then? Like if the church is also a shelter. It's a shield of a sort, right?
Right.
Now, let's go with shelter for a second. If these girls weren't sheltered, would they become streetwalkers? Would they be very loose in the community if they didn't have something? Because it would seem that the church or the shelter is keeping these women in sexual check. They're not on the street with it. Or
Okay.
do you think that, do you think that it's more of just a personal thing, woman to woman? Like, okay, she just want to be with a man. She don't want to be with several men. She don't want to sell herself. She just want to open up to one man. Is it that kind of personal thing like that?
Yeah, yeah, I do believe it's I do believe they want to open up to just one man. But I don't think if they didn't have the church, that they would end up as streetwalker. I think if they hadn't had such strictness, they probably would just be just like every other woman that's out there. Because sometimes that really strict shelter, uh, there's a lot of ignorance. I think the first person that they usually do is when they in a relationship and they believe this person is the one they're gonna marry. The ones I've saw where they just went wild out there. They started small. They got involved with this guy. They were engaged with the guy. He turned them out, turned her out, and they start going in interesting direction. And then when they broke
Okay,
up,
so
she found her a new guy because she liked it. And she
Okay,
wasn't. She
so
was
so
far away from her. She's far away from her home environment to to keep that in check.
all right, that's
So.
not okay. We don't want to get into these long things. Listen, to what I'm saying. Okay,
Mhm.
so the
The
church girl,
mhm.
is this an average black girl, or the church woman? Is this an average black woman? Okay, if you take
Mhm.
away the church, is this an average black woman? If you put the church back in place, right, to where she's
Mhm.
ready to jump a guy's bones, okay, because she's been sexually deprived, is this the average black woman?
Mm.
Because if you
Okay.
because you can make a case that the black woman that doesn't go to church is nothing like that. I've met black
Mm.
women who haven't spent a day in the church in their life, and they weren't all ready to Humpty Dumpty as soon as you met them. They
Mhm.
were laid back. They were about taking care of business. They were very pleasant to talk to. They wasn't
Uh-huh.
overly sexed or anything like that. But I've met church girls, man, that as soon as you have half of a conversation with them, they done jumped into the sex realm. I'm talking about,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm. Okay. This is my take on it. Okay, being a church girl, the good church girl, is an extreme. Is an extreme. So she tends to go from one extreme to the next. If she's extremely goody goody, then she's gonna be extremely freaky freaky. Okay,
So,
regular girls that don't go to church, they not in those extremes. Or most of them, they're not in those extremes. So, and they given they being told real things in the world. They're not sheltered to the fact that this is too good for them, or don't sully their ears, or don't tell them these things. No, regular ones, they being told by family or seen in their environment certain situations that, hey, I don't want to be in that, I don't want to be part of that, or okay, this person did that and they it was like this for them. They get to see this.
all
Really
right, well, let
goody
me
goody
ask,
church girls don't get to see all that.
all right, well, let me ask you this:
Mm-hmm.
if the church girl has gone to church, right, she's got
Mm-hmm.
this polished image that she shows in
Mm-hmm.
public,
Uh-huh.
and when she meet a guy, and as soon as she meet a guy, she's ready to give it up. She gets pregnant. Which parent gets the fault in that? Is that both of the parents' fault? Did they fail as a collective, or did one parent not do what he or she was supposed to do when it came down to this particular child?
Mm. Well, it's it's usually seen as a collective, but the mothers look to first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's both their faults, but the mothers look to first, because usually what's said is, didn't her mother teach her any better or tell her about these things, or yeah, it be both parents, but it's harder on. They tend to focus most of the blame on the
Okay, but
mother.
let me. All
Hmm.
right, you got a little pushback in the chat. You got Vonda Harris saying it depends on the woman. You got the esteemed Christine Williams saying it's on the father.
Hmm. Yeah.
And you have Black C Supreme saying it's both.
Hmm. And I've seen all three. I've seen it where it's
Uh,
both. I've seen it where it's the father, and I've seen it where it's the mother. Every even church girls are all different, and their families are all different. Or even goody goody ones too.
now, is there levels to this? Like, is there a good church girl and a bad church girl?
Yeah. Well, they're not necessarily called bad church girls, but they kind of, you start seeing them less and less in church, and then they stop altogether for a while, and then you might not see them again until their late 20s or 30s and stuff like that. Yeah, so they considered like kind of the bad church girl. Not exactly bad, but they fell off the path, so to say. While
Well,
the
you know, here's an
goody
interesting,
church girl, she's in the church.
Frankie.
What? I'm
Okay.
going too far.
Now,
Hmm.
grown man has an interesting take. He says most women feel as if they're not getting the love and attention she needs. Well, it depends on how old she is, right? Because if
Hmm.
she's a 17 or 18-year-old going to church and she's promiscuous, then it's not about love, right? But if she's a
No.
30-year-old going to church, then that could be possible.
Hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, because when it's teenage, it's rebellion. It's just about rebellion. Um, yeah, I believe so. I believe you're correct on that.
So, okay, so you say that there's a good church girl and a bad church girl. Let's unpack that for a second. Now, the one who's promiscuous, the one who's ready to jump a man's bones on a moment's notice, is that we've been told that that's the good church girl.
If
Because
she's
that's
keeping,
yeah, but you see, as men, we was never taught about a bad church girl. I never knew a bad church girl existed.
okay, so you never heard of a church girl that slowly but surely not coming to church as often, and then she just drop off the church rolls. You don't see her in church at all anymore. And then now that you wait a minute,
Uh,
you go.
yeah, but that's not the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
See, when we talk about the church girl, right, when the guy's looking for a woman,
Mm-hmm.
we was told that the church girl, that's the woman that you want. That's the good woman. That's the one that you can have children with. She's
Uh-huh.
wifey material.
Uh-huh.
She's the one you can ride off into the sunset with, right? But
Okay.
we found out that those church girls are very promiscuous and often gets pregnant and become a single baby mama sometimes, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if that's the good church girl, that's the only church girl we know of as men, then what the heck is the bad church girl like?
Okay.
Yeah, what
Okay.
is that all about?
Okay. Okay. It's amazing how uh men and women have a view of church, but she's usually she usually she living with a man that she's not married with, but she still go to church, and she's still involved in certain church things. Uh, let's see. Yeah, she's kind of promiscuous. She's a uh, si- um, she's serial monogamous. She gets involved with somebody, and they might be together for a few years and don't work out, and then um, go her separate ways, and then she might have another relationship with a guy, but she's still involved, or she still goes to church.
Wow, I mean that. I
Yeah.
mean that. Isn't that what? Wait a minute. That's how. Whoa. See, my mother would call a woman like that a whore.
Hmm. That might be a generational thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. My mom's old school, God rest her
Yeah.
soul.
All
Would
right,
call a woman like that a
my
whore,
church is very unusual then.
or,
Yeah,
or,
but
or I guess you
or,
call a girl like that a harlot, right?
I guess yeah, yeah, a harlot. I guess would be the.
Yeah, yeah. She bouncing from man to man, and she in the church.
But
I
she
mean,
ain't
that's kind
bounce.
of
But she's
wild.
not bouncing hard. She's not bouncing like this night this guy, that night that guy, that night. No, we're talking about maybe 2 or 3 years with the same guy, and she was in a relationship, and I guess hoping to lead to marriage. It didn't work out, or he cheated, or whatever reason they broke up. And she might go through a period where she ain't seen nobody. Then she meets a new guy, and she might go through a
Okay,
few years with him.
Okay, so that's the woman that all the other women in the church are talking about, right?
Yeah,
As soon
sometimes.
as you go sit down, you got Sister McAllister and Sister Holloway. They're over there talking under their breath and whatnot about, Sister Johnson. Sister Johnson, even with everybody's man in the church. That's the bad
Yeah.
church girl.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. So now, I never knew that.
Okay.
See,
But as I said, it's not
we only
necessarily
been talking about
termed
one.
bad church girl.
Shout out to Khadidra Hunter. What's going on, Khadidra? Yeah, I smell them egg rolls all the way over here. Now, you see, I didn't know anything about it. You see, most of us, man, we've been taught only about one type of church girl, the good church girl, who turns out to be not so good if you throw sex into the equation. Okay, you take sex out of it, then yeah, she's a good one. You throw sex into it, now the good thing starts to look a little weird. You know what I'm saying?
And then there's two type of good church girls. There's one, she's not messing with anybody in her church because the word to get around faster. That she is
hold on.
not such a
One
good
second.
church girl.
Let me check this comment. Grown man 773 says most people go to church for socialization now. I have to agree with that. I agree with that. I've seen that take place. Before I stopped going to my church, I saw that happen. I saw people getting up. As a matter of fact, the pastor doesn't even preach anymore.
What?
Yeah,
what
man, he just shows up. He just shows up and sits in the back, and he lets a lot of women get up there to preach, and then maybe there's some skinny-looking dude, and the women are up there talking about all kinds of stuff. Matter of fact, they're not even talking about anything in the Bible. You can go ahead and close the Bible when they get up there and start talking.
Oh my goodness.
And and the things that they say are very influential. I mean, they talk about a certain kind of mindset, a certain kind of attitude, a certain way you're supposed to look, a certain way you're supposed to act for both men and women. So I agree with Grown Man 773. I saw that going on in the church that I left. They were pretty much socializing people to a certain standard or to a certain ideology.
Well, you needed that church. You needed to leave that church. That ain't no church. Shooks, no women. They'll be having fits if a woman go up into the pulpit and try to preach. Now, I'm not saying that they don't have women that teach, but she ain't going in the pulpit. She is gonna be at that pew. Not the pew. The stand at the bottom. There. She ain't gonna be in the I preach or preach. No.
Yeah. So see. Yeah, I've seen that a lot. That's one of the reasons why I left my church, because the pastor just stopped preaching. They don't even do anything anymore. They just come up there and sit down. And the women, they get up there. They done took over the church. I don't even see pastors preaching anymore. Unless they Creflo Dollar, he's a crook. But anyway, getting back to the church girl. So, I learned something new tonight. There is a good church woman and a bad church woman.
Yeah.
I had no idea about the bad church woman. So the bad church woman, that's Sister Johnson, sleeping with everybody's man in the church, and Sister McAllister and Sister Holloway are the ones who are over there cackling about her.
Oh, well,
okay.
They don't do that anymore, but yeah, there was a point when they did do that. And don't let her be one of the bad ones that is known that she has slept with a married man. Oh my goodness, she's going to hell.
Wow.
But and then there's two type of good church girls that go wow. There's one, she ain't mess with nobody that's involved in her church. She don't want to get back to her church that she ain't as goody. And then there's ones that on the slide, they might sleep with one or two of the men or whatever in their church.
You know something? There's more adultery being committed in the church than just about anywhere else. I mean, some of these churches act like brothels. I'm serious. I've been in churches where all the women and men did was try to get at each other. I mean, we'd be outside on break. They out there smoking and carrying on. Hey, sister, we about to go down here and, and pray. You want to come pray with us? Oh, sure. Brother so-and-so, let's go pray. Well, they go down there and pray. Next day, they got a couple of kids. What's that? What'd you just say?
I said, oh my goodness.
Yeah, but here's the problem, though. The brother's talking about going to pray. He's married, and so is she.
Oh.
I mean, I've seen this stuff happen. There's a lot of adultery being committed in these churches. The pastors screwing everybody. I mean, it done turned into some wild, unchecked, brothel. Some of these churches, and some of them dudes are in church paying for it.
What?
I've seen money passed around.
Oh my
Sister
goodness.
McAllister up there talking crazy, right? But as soon as Brother Webb passed a 20 spot, you know what I'm saying? They going in the back with the bathroom at somewhere and disappearing. Come back out talking about they caught the Holy Ghost.
Oh my goodness. Woo.
Be like, where's Brother Webb? Where's Sister McAllister? Oh, they in the back, they steadfast in prayer. Brother Webb comes back out, he doing the two-step. He don't call it the Holy Ghost. You know what that's from, right? Know what I'm saying? So
My church
all
ain't
right.
perfect, but damn.
I'm just telling you. All right, everybody, we're getting ready to transition to our last topic for the night before we open it up. We're about to take a short break. Shout out to everybody in the chat listening. We appreciate your support. We'll be right back. Enjoy the selection. She is the Dame, and I am the Black Knight. This is the Quiet Drive, and we'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, I hope. Well, I guess that's why we don't have the typical good church girls anymore. I'm not saying they like what we're describing, but they don't have that kind of perfection pressure put on them anymore and stuff like that, and they have a more realistic view of things. And their parents do talk to them about sex and all that other stuff, but they few right now. See, okay, well, I don't even consider myself a church girl. I'm considered the bad type that eventually left the church for a while. But I wasn't out there. Well, no, I wasn't out there like that. But most of us church girls grew up, and we either came back to the church or we've been part of the church, and we didn't want that type of that our girls growing up, like that. So we have a little bit more realistic thing that we're not perfect. We striving for perfection, but we humans, we're gonna make mistakes. And even though the church, the goody church girl made a mistake, slip, and had a child, she's still considered a good church girl because she didn't continue having multiple children and multiple men and stuff like that. She I guess you could say she turned herself fully to God for real, and not just saying so just to appease family members, church family, and stuff like that.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
buy that for $1. All right, so let's transition into our last topic for the night before we get out of here. Miss Frankie,
hmm
it's called Understanding Romance. Now, you
Uh,
heard me say this many, many times, especially when I talk about courting. A lot of these
mhm.
young brothers don't understand romance and how important it is in a relationship. See, I'm an old dog, okay? So I come from the 60s and the 70s and stuff like that. So romance was very important to us. We were taught romance, okay? These young brothers today uh, aren't romantic at all. You know, it's all about bending women over couches. It's all about uh, can you suck this? Can you suck that? It's all about how many men can you take in one night. Let's go out and pull a couple of trains. Matter of fact, let's give those trains a name. And I mean, just overall unbelievable craziness
Mhm.
when it comes down to even talking to a woman. I've heard some of the wildest things I can't even imagine. These guys don't know how to talk to women. They think women are sexual objects. They talk to women like they're animals. They don't have any couth, any self-control, and don't know a damn thing about romance. Okay, which is really important in a relationship. It's so bad and so non-existent now that most black women don't even know what the hell romance is anymore because they don't get it. They don't get it because these guys don't have a romantic bone in their fucking body. They don't know how to, swoon a woman, sweep her off her feet, get into her mind, make her feel like she's being swept away on a beautiful odyssey. They don't know anything about this shit. They don't know anything about taking them to certain places that contribute to romance. Nothing. I mean, these guys got the romance IQ of a effing telephone pole. Okay, and I'm not surprised that most black women today don't hardly know shit about romance because they ain't around no romantic dudes. Give me your take on that, and we'll go a little further.
Well, yes, that's true. Most of the time, okay, I know for me, I've seen a brief thing, but it's super, okay, I've seen dating, but the romance part of it, the romance in the woman, I haven't seen, so I'm not, I haven't been exposed to it too much, so I can't identify it all the time. It's become in my mind part of dating, and then again, it was probably um just a veneer of romance, just enough to get you. hmm
Well, it's really not supposed to be about that. It's about making a woman feel special. Doing things that build that intimate connection between you and her. Back in the day, it was flowers, it was candy, it was taking a woman to a romantic movie or a romantic restaurant.
hmm
You can turn a setting into a romantic setting by dimming the lights, maybe some wine, maybe a little bit of poetry, saying some romantic things to the woman, making her feel special. Going out to the boardwalks at night and sitting in the moonlight and having an intimate conversation with the woman, getting involved in her feelings. I mean, this is what romance is all about. It's about making a woman feel special. It's not about making the man feel special. The man is the one that's supposed to be practicing the romance on the female, and making her feel special, making her feel like she's wanted in such an intimate way, by doing different things. It don't have to be these astronomical things. No one's saying that you got to go out and buy her the Empire State Building or bring her back the Brooklyn Bridge. You understand what I'm saying? It's just little small, meaningful things, you know, with a romantic gesture behind it. Well, yeah, well, Christine, but it's. I mean, if you ask most of the average women today, in this generation, they don't know what the hell romance is because the dudes that they're around aren't romantic at all. A lot of these women don't know what it's like to feel special. You know, they don't know what it's like to feel feel like a woman in that sense. You know, laying down in the bed of roses, being made love to in the bed of roses with those fragrances, and then, you know, creating a mood that that invites love. You know, that kind of ambiance of love. You know, putting a woman's mind in an odyssey state, in a state of free flowing love. You know, to where he is the object of her desire because he's made her feel that special. Hey, these guys ain't on that level. You know, they're talking crazy, man. They're talking about being selected, non-select, and the Pookies and Ray Rays, and about as close as they get to you know, romance is taking a woman out and looking at the menu and ordering her some food. That's about it. That's all I've heard. You know, no roses, no flowers. Now, you can get real fancy with roses and flowers, you know. There's a lot of things you can do. You can throw them all over the bed, you know, and create a bed of flowers. This is old school romance stuff. You know, some of these things creates a different vibe and a different feeling, you know. You want the woman psychologically floating around on her feet. You want her to feel like she's on this endless ride of romantic love that she's never going to come down off of. These guys are afraid to bare their hearts to women. You understand what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what romance is all about. And this goes a long way in a relationship, because once you establish it, you don't have to present it all the time. You can just do different variations of it as your relationship gets older and older and older, because you've already established it. Frankie, you want to comment on that?
Well, let's just face it.
Let me answer something real quick. Hold on one second. Let me answer something quick. Yeah, First Lady, no, it don't have to be roses, okay? It could be something different. You see, romance. See, the cool thing about romance, it's not just one specific thing. It doesn't have one. It doesn't have one specific thing that makes it what it is. It don't have to be roses. It can be something else completely different. You know, it can be a setting. You know, a open bay window when it's snowing outside and there's beautiful, you know, moonlight coming through, right? And y'all sitting next to a fireplace with some music and sipping on some brandy. Maybe both of you are wrapped up in a comforter, you know, just that air of comfort between you and him, and he's providing that intimate moment of comfort, and you know, you're feeling very comfortable in his presence or in his arms in that kind of setting. See, that can be a very romantic setting depending on how he's playing it. So no, it don't have to be flowers. That was just a suggestion. You know, back then a lot of guys used flowers and things like that. And so if you're if you are courting the woman that you're trying to romance, then you'll know these things anyway. Okay? That's why you have to court the woman that you're with. That's why I said before, courting is so important when you're dealing with a woman, because you find out some of these things. If she has allergies to, you know, the flowers and things like that, and then you build your romance package, all right, around the things that you think is going to tantalize her or get her into that psychological moment that you're looking for. Go ahead, Frankie.
Yeah, exactly. Um, it's the okay, when a guy is getting romantic with a woman, he's showing that he is getting to know her and he's setting the mood what he learned of her interests and what she loves and what she likes and stuff like that. So he do his romantic plan accordingly and stuff like that. So for you, it might not be flowers. It might be that you love books and y'all reading passages from your favorite book to each other and stuff like that, or poetry in some people's case, or whatever your interest is and whatever you love and like and stuff like that.
Well, you see,
Um,
that's something different.
that is
Okay, that's not yeah, that's not romance.
that's not romance.
Romance isn't about no, romance isn't about both of y'all interests.
I didn't
It's a
say
one
both.
way.
It's about her interest. He's
No, you see,
taking
no,
it.
you're misunderstanding something.
Oh, okay.
Okay, okay, it's not about going against your will and what you don't want. Romance is something completely different. Okay, it's a fantasy. It's a fantasy that's born into fruition. It's a doable fantasy. Okay, it's about getting the woman into a psychological state, a certain psychological state of feeling wanted and feeling needed. Feeling as if she's floating on cloud nine. Looking at a man with that gazing look that she has to have this man. She loves this man with everything that she has. Getting a woman into that mindset. Okay, okay, that's what it's all about. It's a one-way operation. It's not a mutual thing like let's sit down and read a book because we both have interest in the book. That's not romance. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I don't understand. I thought it was about
No,
her
no, no, it's not
interest.
about that. It's a mental explosion in a woman's mind to
Mhm.
make her
Mhm.
feel like she's never felt before. Okay, making her
Mhm.
feel like she's being swept off her feet and she's floating, and the only thing that's holding her up is the love that you have for her.
Mhm.
Okay, it's to get her into that fantasy in her mind, right? That can be played out in real life.
Mhm.
Okay, it's a playable fantasy.
Okay.
Okay, okay, it's all about getting the woman to feel a certain way, to feel like she's special. Pulling on her heartstrings. Making her fall in love with you, making her give you that loving look. You know, she feels that you're the only man she will ever love. You want her to feel these kind of thoughts in her mind. I'm saying, and so you do the romantic gestures and the efforts to create that kind of psychological feeling within her mind. It's an explosion. It's a ride. It's an emotional, intimate ride that you put her on to make her feel that ride is never going to end.
Okay. So, all right. I don't. I'm not going to be able to answer any further because I think it's going to lead to more misunderstanding. Because
That's fine
if
because
her
we're here to try
interest,
to under.
if her
No,
interest
it's not
is,
about hold on 1 second. It's not
uh-huh,
about misunderstanding. We're here to try to figure it out.
mhm,
Okay,
mhm,
so it's no wrong answer. You know, it's just of trying to get into the right understanding about what romance is. You know,
mhm,
it's not a mutual thing to where you sit down and you find out that you have something in common. Something in common, that's for courting.
okay,
Okay, when you're courting, that's when you find out all of this stuff about what you have in common, what you like, what you don't like, who's allergic to what. You find all that in courting. Once you get all of that going and you're in the right direction, now a man wants to take it to the next level. He wants this woman to feel special. Okay, now he wants her to start to fall in love. So this kicks in the romance.
Okay.
That's when you turn it up that's when you start to heat things up romantically and intimately. Right. Doing things like having her a warm bath with scented oils and candles and, things like that, different things that you do that works for some women it don't work for, right? But you find this out during the courting process of what may work and what may not work on the woman that you're trying to court.
Okay. Well, I thought that's what I just said. That, that when you learn her, you use that to create your romantic setting. Yeah,
Exactly. It can be so romantic. And every woman is different. Every woman has a different level, right, of what I call everyone has a different trigger. Put it like that. For some women, a romantic kind of like dinner made by the man can set them off. That can trigger that feeling in the mind.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? For some women, if the guy is a good cook and he cooks her favorite dinner or something, he's got the candle thing going on, he's got the music playing, rubbing her feet, setting out a nice evening gown for her, running a hot bath, there's some slow music playing, what you want to do is create that special feeling in her mind.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Making her feel special. That's what it's about. It's about really making the woman feel special to try to induce that dreamy-like state to where she's falling deeper and deeper in love with you.
Okay. Well, I guess that covers it. Does everybody understand what Max is saying?
Matter of fact, we can start we're getting closer to the show anyway. We're going to open it up now, everybody. We're going to open up the panel for a little while before me and the dame call it the night. I'm about to put the link in the chat. You can come on up and hang out with us, talk about what you've heard on the show. And me and the dame are more than willing to chop it up with you guys for a little bit before we get up out of here. So yeah, Dame, that's pretty much what it is. And okay, hold on, let me throw this in there. All right, here comes the link. The panel is now open. Come up on the Quiet Drive. The panel is now open. Come hang out with me and the dame, talk about what you heard on the show, or if you got any suggestions, or if you got any answers to any questions. Answer any questions. If you got any questions, we'll try to answer it. So the panel is open. Khadija, you're coming up, and you're gonna give us some of those romantic egg rolls, those love rolls. Exactly, Christine. Every man is different. Like I said, you learn it. You learn each other through the courting process. Once the romance is kicked off, a man that's really about it, he already got his I's dotted and his T's crossed. He already know what type of woman she is. He already built his romantic plan around what type of woman she is, and he's about to go for it. You see, one of the reasons that romance is possible, is necessary, Dame, because even though you're courting, she's not in love with you yet. Okay? All right? Love takes time, so you throw in the romance to try to speed up that love process by making her feel special. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. All right, the panel is open, everyone. Don't be shy. Come on up, hang out with me and the dame. If nobody wants to come up, We'll give them about 5 or 10 more minutes, Dame. If they don't come up, we'll just get on out of here and shut it down. And we'll be back Sunday night. We also got Ladies Night coming up tonight at 10 p.m. And it promised to be a doozy. We got some special guests coming through. We got big guns like Cerulean Gray, Jay Shine, coming through. They will be talking about guns and protection for Black women. And they will also get into the tenets of the sissy bims from a woman's perspective. I don't think you want to miss that. That sounds like a powder keg. Okay? So tune in for Ladies Night tonight at 10 p.m. hosted by the lovely Royal Duchess Vonda Harris, who's in the building. And also, my partner in crime, the Dame, will also be on that panel. Okay?
Okay.
As other ladies of E Nation, Belle Mort, and probably the Queen might make an appearance. The Queen of the E Nation. She's also in the building. She may also make an appearance on that panel. We're also looking for some guests to come through that's not on the list. So we may have some guests because of the subject. We may have some surprise guests come through and may come up on the panel and give their take on the whole sissy bim tenets. Man, those tenets were crazy. I've never read something so mixed up and outright delusional. I don't know what these guys. Wow, those tenets are unbelievable. What do you think about them tenets, Dane? You heard some of that crap. Okay, she goes on mute.
Sorry.
All right.
I thought they were crazy, out there, twisted, vague, broad, and they don't seem to be doing the main thing they said they are going to do, which is go over there, find the non-Black woman of their dreams, and go live happily ever after. They keep coming back here and dragging us.
Yeah, I thought about doing some of the tenets tonight, but just one tenet would take. I mean, there's so many things wrong with just one tenet. We could be here all night. I mean, it's just so many things. Those tenets are just. I've never seen anything like that. And I'm wondering if these guys are pedophiles or serial killers. I mean, the stuff in those tenets was just crazy. All right, do we have a taker here? Let's see. Anybody coming up? Well, Dame, looks like we have no takers tonight. Everybody's kind of quaint with staying in the chat. So with that being said, Dame, it's been a great show. Thank you for hosting with me. I really appreciate your input.
Okay. Yeah. I was enjoying the show. Although I wish I could have heard the others' point of view, especially on the romance, because
Well, I mean,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
They, people are shy. Give them time.
Okay.
As the quiet drive, we'll come back to romance.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So, well, everybody.
Well, Christine, I thank you very much for that. For everybody, shout out to everybody. Christine Williams is the one that gave me the name The Black Knight, which I wear proudly. As a badge of honor. And I thank Christine Williams for that. And she's right. I am old school. I was groomed to be a husband, by my mother and father. And we have I have a different understanding about women. I have 5 sisters and a mother. So got a pretty strong understanding about women and their nature. So kind of like a ringer in that aspect. And you're right, most of these guys today, they don't care about nothing but themselves. I've heard it. I've heard it. This is not something that black women are just saying. I heard it myself. You know, all you, as a matter of fact, you hear it every day on social media. You know, so with that being said, hold on one second. Sorry about that. Yeah, so you hear it every day on social media, right? That all these guys care about is themselves. All right. So with that being said, Frankie, let's get on out of here.
All right. All
Thank
right.
everybody for tuning in. Don't forget, ladies' night tonight at 10 p.m. It plans to be a doozy on the Overdrive. Shout out to Vonda Harris, Khadija Hunter for coming through. Christine Williams, Grown Man 773. We'll see you guys next on Sunday night. All right. So, Dame, we say peace, power,
Power
and
and unity.
all right, everybody. Peace. We out.
All right.
See, I've been watching you for a while. Your smiling style. I don't know if I can be with you for the night. Alright. Is that alright? Baby. Baby. There is only one for me. You have made that part possibility. We could take that step to see if this is really gonna be. All you gotta do is say yes. All you gotta do is say yes. Don't deny what you feel. Let me address you, babe. Open up your mind to express. I'm about to let you know you make me so. All you gotta do is say yes. Don't deny what you feel. Let me address you, babe. Open up your mind to express. I'm about to let you know you make me so, 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 so. You make me so, 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 so. Loving you has taken time, but I always knew you could be mine. I recognize the butterflies inside me. This is gonna be made tonight, tonight. All you gotta do is say yes. All you gotta do is say yes. Don't deny what you feel. Let me address you, baby. Open up your mind to express. I'm about to let you know you make me so. Don't deny what you feel. Let me address you, baby. Open up your mind to express. I'm about to let you know you make me so, 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 so. You make me so, 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 so. You make me so, 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 so. You make me so, 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 so.